Hello guys, hello and welcome everyone to today's edition of rFactor, to a very special stream again this week here on Michihoya Sim Racing, because rFactor 2 has just released an update for the existing new UI. So before we get going into it, first of all, we will have a little bit of a different layout as of right now today, because we're working a lot on the screen, and I got my little, notebook ready, because to come to a good resume towards the end of the stream, I'm gonna have some things to note down in between, that's for sure. Anyway, we are going to have a closer look into the new UI update on rFactor 2. It has been a bit quiet about this. As far as I'm concerned, rFactor 2 kept teasing the world a little bit with stuff that's about to come, with stuff that has been worked on. But this new UI, personally, was a bit of a surprise to me, as I suddenly heard this Monday, I think it was, when they released the first video, or on Sunday last week, that there is going to be a UI update. And, well, we're now going to start rFactor 2 and see what is new. Obviously, I have been on the new UI over the day a little bit, like literally just 10-15 minutes, just to see if there might be anything that could caught me or could catch me by surprise. But I haven't found anything, so we're gonna have a look all together on this new UI, how it is looking, how it is improved or not improved compared to the old version. And well, we will start with something new and very interesting, and I would love to actually hold and stop the picture, but guys, spoiler alert, have a close look on the starting screen. You will see something that you guys will be particularly interested about, I'm pretty sure. And I don't mean this, I also don't mean that is the updating workshop items, which is standard, but I mean what's coming up now. This is an IndyCar. And this is an IndyCar with a windshield, which means it's not the Dallara DW12 that we used to know from the current rFactor 2 branch. So, is there a new IndyCar coming? Hands down, probably. And I also gotta say, I do appreciate that sound in the background, despite it may be something just generic. It is cool, it is chill, the pictures are slowly, the music is really fitting to those pictures that we see. Like, it's no flamboyant pictures, there's no flamboyant transmission, and it is a kinda chill and cool music with some engine sounds in the background. But as much as this is the first real fast picture here on the pre-start screen, but look at this, those high definition screenshots in, I feel it is a kind of silent mood, and it really wants to make you click to start. So, hello everyone to the new UI update on rFactor 2. Bakun is with us, and PAWC 2220. Try not to show the setup screen too much. Yeah. I got you guys. I will actually have some dummies set up around for you guys to look at. Miko, welcome. And yeah, I get really excited starting to look at those pictures. You got to say, rFactor 2, they have taken a lot of time. There was a lot of shitstorm on the old existing UI, and as we see the IndyCar again, one really sees that they have given this a proper thought, that they haven't given this a proper work, and now we're trying to find out what it is all about. This is the main menu. So at the top we got single player, multiplayer, competitions. We're going to talk about the competitions area later. I'm not sure if there's an update for that too. Beyond that, on the bottom side you get news, You have the announcements. I'm not sure if they be replaced. In all honesty, if they're... And this is the first little bit of criticism maybe I want to get started, but... If you look at the screen, okay, let's say the top area is 2/3, the lower area is 1/3, then 2/3 actually game, 1/3 actually news. That's a bit too much news, isn't it? Like, what I could imagine, and I hope this is just placeholders for now, so you have competitions, and here you down have your player set, your player statistics, whatnot, your ratings that may or may not come, I don't know. But I think I really hope and I could imagine that one of those down here is a replacement for something. Maybe here you can see the standings of the official competitions that are being hosted by Studio 397. So, not 100% sure. Daniela, it is actually a 1080p stream, so there should not be an issue. I see that the bitrate is a bit low here and there, but on OBS it says it's alright. Anyway, we don't want to talk about stream quality, we want to talk about UI quality, indeed. And it is really nice background. Like the sound, there are so many menus where the sound is just so annoying. Like, Assetto Corsa Competizione has also some really nice music, but after 2 or 3 or 4 minutes I start feeling dizzy about it. I start feeling stressed, you know? And this one has this, it has some meditation sounds. Do you feel it? And then you can close the eyes, and you can hear the cars in the background somewhere in the far away, and then it passes you, but it's stump, you know? It's not the engine sounds is the predominant thing in the audio. It's the relaxing music, and I really like this. Papa Kuhn has a Papa surprise on the Papa Discord. Oh, nice! I am going to have a look at it for sure. Maybe we can have this played live at the end. Let's have a look. Anyway, let's go deeper into the thing. So what we're going to explore first is the single player, because that has drastically changed, and it has now been, what I like about this UI, it's been cleaned up, and this is the first thing. I say I want to take some notes to round up. So music is a big up in the menu. Second part, everything is cleaned up. So this means you remember the old UI, you had this bright white with a lot of blue, a lot of orange and whatnot, and as soon as you got into setting up something, you got into this gray area, but if you would have clicked that gear, you would have been flashed by white. Happily, this doesn't happen anymore. So basically, you have one basic UI in the background. You see the Formula Pro car there in the background. Then Kubao, I will have a look into this. Then you have everything just sort like closer together. It is more compact. You could argue that stuff is a bit small, but actually I don't care about that. What I do like also, you have a practice session here. You cannot set up qualifying because first you need to enable it, then it comes alive. So you also have like only the stuff that's really relevant for you is being selectable. That is really nice indeed. Those clicks, as have been mentioned in all those preview videos, it is all closed up together. You don't have to go white with a mouse. So if I be fancy, look how quick I can change all those 7 settings. It is really like it goes in a flow. Time scale normal, race on, warm up off, qualifying on. I don't need this, practice on. You can really quickly select some key basic things. So whether you click on buttonering, so the selection for tracks opens. When you go back to the quick event overview of the current session, you click on the car, or you take the buttons here at the top. So this is all very it is intuitive. It is really user-friendly. And it is, I mean, it follows a certain logic. First, you want to know what kind of session you want to have, then the track, then the car. You could always argue whether you want to first pick the track, then the car, and then care about the settings, but I leave that to personal liking. Personally, I'm not infected by this or somehow being distracted by it. What I do also like, you have all the key facts, like the really key facts here on the front page. Obviously you can select series, it's the same than before. You can select cars, track, cars, and then you can edit the settings. And this is where you can set the full thing. So what is the session? You're gonna use rules, you're gonna use mechanical failures, you're gonna use tire wear, you're gonna use the AI. What is the starting times? How long is the session? How is the weather? And this is a big key fact I want to add up as well. 3, friendliness of weather setup. It is a big contrast to what we had before. Back then, you had to select, this is the period I want to manage. Then you needed to go down and manage the period. Then you had to go up again, click on the next group or on the next section of the weather, and you had to click the stuff again. Now here you can just, you know, I want 3% rain chance, 5, 10%. It is all very intuitive. The sound's very clear. Every time you select something, it gets highlighted in red. And what I really like, when I go up there, temperature, have a look what happens on the temperature on the left if I go up to humidity. So you have an indicator in which column you are. May not be a big deal if you're over here, but over there, like you have 2 percentages, and then you look, oh, what is this at the front? And then you see immediately, okay, this is the rain chance, this is the humidity. That is really well done. What I also like that the weather is summed up again here at the top. So it really, what the old UI already had was a clean writing, was a clean, you know, the table sets. When there were tables, they were really clean. You gotta admit that. So it combines this with a whole new idea and really good usability. Like, it is, you know, here is the thing. A lot of people, perhaps me included, would have expected, okay, it's not that big of a deal to make the column you're currently looking at or the bottom you're currently looking at be highlighted. But someone had a big brain and also made sure they highlighted the category in the front or in the start of the column to assist with the orientation and with the usability, and that is really great. Yeah, last but not least, what I also like, this is really cleaned up. So you could like put 10 of those objects behind each other, and they only extend if you click on them, which means whatever you have, 10 columns, they would be all in this area, and it is all on a single page. That is really great. So we have just set the weather for the practice, for the race, and again, it's not showing unnecessary things. If I go on and enable qualifying and warm up, okay, warm up, nothing to be set, because there the warm up really takes the settings from the race. But as soon as you have practice 1, practice 2, Q1, Q3, Q2, that is all features that rFactor 2 is able to do. You would see it up here in the list. And this is really great, I think. You can have all the options available, and that is how you get going into the single player, which we're going to have a look soon, because also on the actual track, in the setup menu, on the pit garage menu, stuff has changed. So we're going to have a look into it, and we're driving the Formula Pro car around Bodnering, and I will tell you why that is later on. How about wheel settings, etc. Button mapping, did not get the chance to start it yet. We're gonna have a look into that too. But first, we're gonna look into the multiplayer. Nothing has really changed here. Stuff got a little bit, you know, summed up. You could still argue that this list is probably a bit too long, but you can set yourself when you want to have LAN, when you want to have internet, not full, is public, stuff like this. And I believe... Oh no, the favorites haven't vanished. And this is great. The favorites, on the old UI, you could see 3 of them, period. Here you get the same list than when you're looking from the internet, which is just great. It is a big improvement, and I really appreciate that. So as we don't go into the multiplayer though, we're gonna go back into the single player. Or before we go into single player, we round this up and go into competitions, and this is perhaps a downside of it. I'm gonna note this down. The CS. So the competition system, it closes the new UI and throws you back onto the kind of old UI. So there are still bits and pieces of it. I could believe that this competition area page is going to be integrated into the new UI as soon as the new UI really stabilizes. I haven't driven it yet, I haven't tested it yet, I don't know whether there are any issues whatsoever, but just in case there is, I think it's more important that we focus on the actual issues with the new UI or with the new UI update before making it fully available also on the competition system as well. Now that said, please don't get me wrong, personally I want this competition system to be pushed. Disclaimer, MSG Studio 397, please listen. Push this competition system. We need ratings, we need statistics, we need more combinations of races, we need more activity, we need possibilities to be able to contact each other perhaps, driver profiles. We need to get this active because the competition system and its usability going to be a key feature in rFactor 2 in the future. Period. That is just my personal opinion. So wasn't the rant, was just a big call towards MSG and Studio 397. I'm pretty sure they are watching the videos back at some point. Please, I know you focus a lot on content, and don't get me wrong, that what you've done with the UI in the last couple of months, I believe, and I mean 3, maybe 4 months, I don't think you have spent a lot of time, like time-wise, is really incredible. Like the first look of it, I really love this new UI update. But please, with all game stability stuff that we need and that the game needs, please push this competition system. It is in a beta now for a year, and we need to push this. Risitas, get up and work. Chris Pay, thank you so much for your follow and welcome. You are impressed with the new UI, so am I. And if you click back, you come back to the chilly music. So actually, we just check out what the other things, the buttons are doing. So that is latest news from the studio397.com webpage. Yeah, this is all web pages they have built in here. Oh, okay. Steam overlay error. Please enable Steam. Okay, I could guess that this button will get you into the Steam Workshop, so that was a client-side issue, probably rather more than an rFactor 2 issue. Sim Racing World, a leaderboard section, I agree, but we kind of have that in the competition system. Anyway, next up, watch and community. Oh, this is great, isn't it? You get to the forums, you get to your replays, you get to the news, you get to the Discord, and you get to the esports series. This will open the Twitch in the default browser. That's all nice, you know, it starts interacting with your machine, it starts interacting with the web. But if I may add a piece of advice, if here is a news button, then I really hope that those are 3 placeholders for features to come in the future. Anyway, that is a real nice addition. I could see leaderboards here as well, or news about the series. Get into the forum, got it onto the Discord, it's all great. Last but not least, content and settings. So here again, you get onto the store, which this is a client-side issue. Here you finally get into your profile very easy, and I think this could also the place where profile CS ratings, ELO, statistics, stuff like that can appear in the future. Steam Workshop, manage content. That is very nice indeed, as we're managing the content packages. I want to know if... Yeah, okay, you got first the mods, then you got the locations, then you got the cars. That's all fine. Is there a filter somewhere, like you can sort by type? Perhaps a filter would be interesting right here. That would be probably a nice thing. George, you hope for an in-game UI update? No promise made, but there is some. We're gonna have a look at it very, very soon, because the last thing that we're going to check is the settings page. And this really sums up how this new UI update is designed, and how it is made operational. So you have a lot of bars. I appreciate setting the bars instead of, you know, just clicking yourself through it at all times. That is really good. Again, all those settings are very close to each other, so you can turn on and off stuff. I don't want auto headlights, no auto reverse. I keep them on, that's fine. Auto engine starts fine as well, that's fine. Auto lift, not even sure what that does. Anyway, that is all nice. You know, back then in the old UI, you had plugins and own tab, network and own tab for 3 settings, replays and own tab for 4 settings, and difficulty as a page. And now they've all combined this on one single page, which is gameplay. And that really makes sense. It is really all about the gameplay settings here. If we calibrate the controls, as you can see, I like the fact that they have stopped playing around with colors and stuff. It's all that plain blue. Everything shines in the same colors, page-wise, which is really, really nice. Aaron Blazer, you know what? I'm gonna do a small video afterwards as a video on demand, and there you guys can note down your wish list, and then at some point we're gonna do Michi's Esports Diaries out of it and say, hey, this is rFactor 2, this is what we need. That is a promise. I'm gonna do that in the next couple of days. You can design your own HUD, El Nando. That will be interesting. Can you show me how? Because I have already some ideas for it. Right, assigning controls. It is now very, very tight, everything, but again, you got car controls, got electronics, got the powertrain, got so many settings all together, get assists and gameplay together. It is all, again, you know, you don't need a scroll. I haven't found a single page apart from lists where you would have need to scroll to get anywhere, and this is just great. I note that down. Page design, very, very good indeed. Norman Robinson, thank you so much for a $5 super chat donation. Really enjoying your content today, Michi. Hopefully Studio 397 will continue the great development of the awesome sim platform. I agree. I really agree. El Nando, hit me up, !Discord, join our community Discord, and then we can have a talk after the stream perhaps on how we do that, because I need to do it. I already found something that's bugging me, and that is a bit of a... I cannot list it a downside, because they have fixed something that was wrong for over 2 or 3 years. I use that fix though very well for my streams, so that is why I'm a bit... I want to have it back, but if I can play around, move around that, then obviously I rather enjoy a clean writing rather than a stretched HUD. Anyway, so assign controls, as I said, a menu that used to have, I don't know, I think 6 or 7 tabs with a long list to scroll, it got into 4 tabs, sorted in terms of, you know, all the buttons you want to have somewhere on the steering wheel or on the button box is on the driving page. Assistant gameplay, everything that is not been touched in the long term is an assistant gameplay. Camera and set, stuff that you just set once and then leave it forever probably isn't a known tap. And the UI and chat, like the miscellany and stuff to control the game, is another tap. And I really gotta say, the people have really thought well of what to put where and why put it there. Really great. I was really hoping to be able to save settings in single player so I didn't have to set up Formula E versus Formula 1 versus GTE. Beta Backer, what settings are you referring to? I don't know if the spotter has been updated. Anyway, further moving on, graphics makes total sense. Like, this was a page already, this was on a single tap. You remove the tap, make everything in a single page, sum it up, clean it up, finished. Perfect. Sounds with the sliders, very nice. Have more possibilities. I think speaker configuration settings is something new. Anyway, that is it for the settings. Oh, that is also an interesting feature. Something that we have forgot really. You could only leave rFactor 2 on the new UI, on the before updated new UI, when you were clicking everywhere back to back, go race, and then in the bottom right you found exit game. So that is an improvement. You can straight away jump out of the game. If you fully want to rage quit, just click the X. Aaron Blazer, I hope that Race Lab apps brings a relative for rFactor 2, or brings a general support for rFactor 2, because I like their app, I like what they can do, and I want to have it in rFactor 2 100%. I can't see the car in customization option. That happened to you. Let's just check that, because there is something new in there as well. As we go into the single player, and as we want to start with a Formula Pro around botnering, we also check the customize button and see. Sadly, the music disappears, but here, there is a new showroom, and they have really thought about this. That is something to note up as well. Number 5, the showroom. And I'm not too much about those fancy lights around. That's all, you know, fun. That's all a bit of flamboyance, a bit of professionalism. But what is really great, finally, about this showroom, with a mouse apart from up and down and going back and forth in terms of zoom, you don't swing the camera anymore, you swing the car finally. And remember that on the old, before updated UI, you had a bright light here on this side, but once you turn the camera on the other side to see this area, it was just dark because there were shadows. So it was clearly light coming from a fixed area. The car was fixed, you couldn't turn it around, so you only could really place the car into the right scenery from a specific side. Now you can do everything with the car. You can just move it and leave it. You can also flip it. But as soon as you flip it, it keeps turning. So you can really, and it doesn't turn really slow. It turns on an accurate, adequate spin. It is all 100% fluent. I mean, also, look at this. How fluid it is. Can also change the showroom to on track, says Dennis Jordan. Where can we do this? We are looking. So I get settings. Oops. Settings. This is probably in the graphics. Light Studio, ASR OWC. This new UI is really great. The Silverstone showroom is the old hangar, isn't it? Oof. Nice. Although I gotta say, this looks pretty much like Google Drive, not Google Drive, Google Maps. I mean, okay, here I get it. Yet you can really see that if I click this away, that the sun is somewhere up here where like those settings are. But and that is why you get the shiny side on one side of the car. I get that. I don't mourn about that. It's just that the Silverstone circuit looks a bit interesting. It looks like Google Street View, you know, a bit. Although, I mean, look at, you can't see this right here. Let me change the view real quick. Oh, and let me change the camera real quick to the correct brightness. So, have a look what those grip boxes do. They kind of move. You see how bent they get here over there? And then how straightened up they get? How bent here on the left? I really like it. I really like it. So Dennis Jordan, I think that is what you've meant, right? The car on the track. I mean, this is a great picture, a great scenery when you want to present the car. Like, you know, most of the teams present their car, putting it somewhere on the track, do photography on it and stuff. I guess they are hitting at the face. It's moddable. I don't know, Danielle. Yeah, it's a bit like fish eye. I agree, but I wouldn't be too harsh on that one because I like what they have achieved with this setting. As it is, you clearly see it as a static picture as such. But you know, no big deals, no harm. Maybe there's also room for improvement. Silverstone showroom is essentially a 360-degree screenshot, so it's a bit fish eye like. Yeah, exactly that. When you have a 360-degree, that's why I called it Google Street View. I'm sorry about that, but I guess this is just a standard physics effect. Graphics, well, those are, all the other ones are workshop stuff I have. I really like the light studio and the showroom. I would like to have the option of a garage in the future, perhaps. So yeah. Either way, that is what has to do with the settings. And now obviously we want to finally start racing, and as we load into the track, we have also a little new screens available here on the loading screen, which we will see in the near moments. And then before we actually get going, I need to quickly jump out of my suit, put on the shoes. So you see new loading pictures. There is a full loading bar. There's even a logo, a version number down right. I really appreciate that. And now, guys, I'd say it's time to get going with some racing. Hello guys, welcome back, and we have another look into the data view right now for the time being, as we are in pit road for, well, the new garage. And you see this is very summed up as well. What I really do love is you got the key information here all in the top, all kind of low. Back then we had drivers over here, we had a session indicator, and I think the time remaining. Now we also have the key facts about track type. You could always argue whether you need that because you kind of know what track you're on. Although I'm a statistics guy, I would need to look up all those lengths, so I have now an indication, which is quite nice. We have current weather condition and race settings, so that we know what is actually going on. What is new is the setup has moved all the way to the right. Anything else has just been, again, summed up, cleaned up, and looks really nice. So right now we are on the watch screen. You have a full inbuilt player direction, like, you know, how do you call this? My goodness me, how do you call it? Where you press play, where you press fast forward, like tape controls. That was what I'm looking for. Anyway, you have now quick buttons for driving. Let's see who is currently driving the number 3 car. You have a selectable onboard. You can watch from the track side, and that is nice. Those are the new rFactor 2 car labels. They are called, I think. Ruben, sorry if I get this wrong, but I think it's called car labels, right? Sek Kwani Ni, thank you for the subscription on the YouTube channel. Also, Desert Bow and Twitch Looker, thanks for the follows on our Twitch channel tonight. So, something I'm not 100% sure, especially in, I want to close this the next time I see this. That, yeah, you know, that the size of this thing is moving bigger, smaller. I think it serves the plan to be able to read out from whatever distance the car is, which is great. Swingman is gone, you can only use it with the short. The Swingman is the track side, isn't it? Or I can't remember about Swingman anyway. Spectator is quite fun. You can see from the grandstand's point of view. What is also new, and I want to close this up, and this is great, that when you move this away, this makes video editing. Excuse me, I want to note this down. 6 video editing. Something that slowed down the old UI was that this bar and this here at the top, it simply never vanished unless you have opened the broadcaster tool and disabled it automatically. But especially this here at the top, in combination with this down in the bottom, has really slowed down the picture itself, the performance of the game. And that is really good. We need an option to adjust camera focus. I think you can bind that all to buttons. Anyway, something else that is new obviously is this. You can now check a couple of lap times. You don't have to anymore close the window, press the plus here to see what is the lap times overall. This is really nice indeed. No, you can stay into the picture and go and look. Oh, there is that this is a bit random. I'm not on the driving. But, you know, I can have a look at the P1 guy and say, I want to see his lap times over a couple of things. And then you see, oh, look at this. Lap 2 was his fastest time. Back then he was in P17. But then he did a 14.0. And now we can also have a look into sector times while driving with the guy. That is a really great addition. It makes spectating so much more interesting. It makes engineering so much more easy. Less clicks to get the information that you maybe need. You can also look back into lap times, which is a great feature. As we now see, he crosses the start-finish line. with the personal best sectors listed all at the top. So you see what is an optimal lap time, which is interesting because that optimal lap time, oh no, all of those sectors have been slower. Let's see if there's someone else with a faster sector somewhere. So we keep this enabled. It takes some time to reload and read out. Interestingly, no one has pulled multiple laps with here. So you see an optimal lap time. The best that he did was a 1:14.9. But you can see the optimal lap time just from the sectors is a 14.8. This is a great feature. Back then you would have had to do that manually, sort of. So that is a really, really great addition. So we're not only speaking about a new UI, you know, some summed up design, some more pictures, or some smarter aligning of things. Wixwall, thank you for your follow. We're also talking about a new feature. This is a key new feature and a great addition for usability. Full stop. So that was only the watch part. We now also have a live timing available. So we have a track map, and this is perfect for qualifying. You have a track map, you see all the sectors done by the people currently, last lap, best lap. It's going to be great for engineers if they don't need to watch the onboard but need to watch what other people are doing. This is a great addition. Obviously here you need to scroll, because how do you want to do it without scrolling? Session controls, all summed up, all close together. I guess in the multiplayer you would have had a vote down here. I don't know, I'm just guessing right now. And last but not least, the thing you guys are very interested in, and for the time being I stop this because... Stop it! Because listening to the throttle application of the UI is irritating AF. Setup, make changes to the car. Oh no. This was the first time, and I note this rather down as a bug, perhaps. Load time setup. So it's something that can be given back as a feedback on the Discord later on. El Nando, are you able to explain me how to move the UI, not the UI, the HUD in game? Anyway, you have save, copy, load, share, revert, assign. Revert is an interesting one. Like all those basic controls in the summary summed up is really, really great. Again, here you have the list. I love that the list is a lot more tighter together. Here's a setup that we're going to use, by the way. The ERWC rFactor 2 setup. We load that, and actually defaults, and I want to compare first, and I can say stop comparing, which is really, really nice. So we have a look what is here on the setup. So you see differences to the compare setup in clicks, which is here I think it is all right, but here I think, you know, okay, it's probably also a difference in clicks as far as I'm concerned here. I'm not sure if I would rather want to have the actual value as a comparison. So, you know, if I'm wondering, okay, 124 kPa, yes, I know it's 20 clicks difference, but maybe I'm interested because I'm an engineer in the actual value, perhaps. One can argue about that. Andre, I think we can take that as feedback as well as in features what to still add. Why doesn't that make any sense with this one? Is it because I need this as a... Ah! Yeah, from the run. That is very nice. Here what you set, and here is what you've had on the run. Current setup, compared setup, current setup, compared setup. That is really nice indeed. So if you're comparing setups and trying to combine two setups all together, you can switch before to see where you've been coming from and what is the compared setup like, what is still different. Then again, we do have everything summed together. So summary, where you set setups and stuff and everything, you have it on one page. Powertrain, fuel, engine, electronics, gearing, differential, gearbox, everything on one page. Tires, well, wheels and brakes, all on one page. Suspension and aero, all on one page. Again, one could argue whether the third spring should have been somewhere here in the middle. But I guess if you think about it in boxes, one box and another box and another box and another box, then this is absolutely fine. I think there is nothing wrong with it. And last but not least, the chassis, where everything is together. So again, everything is very cleaned up. Everything is compressed, but more easy to find, more easy to click, more easy to view. Everything, like, I haven't found a single downside in this UI update yet. Really gotta say. There is one down. Okay, I found the downside. I was lying. Such graphics presets are now available with this UI. Then is which graphics presets? Ah, yes, graphics presets. I've read about this. Can't change it now. We'll go out of the sync again because I want to remove the other cars anyway, in all fairness. But before we do so, we go back into the live timing, see that someone has turned 10 laps here, and now we can have a closer look into those 10 laps. Clean, with an additional information, what was the position at this time. So interesting to reconstruct where were pit stops apart from the lap time. But clean, sorted, informative. Can have a car also as a orientation. For engineers, I could imagine that if you add a kind of note list down to this car down here, or a notebook where you can note down some stuff, that would be pretty cool, but that is just thinking out of the box. So they're still missing what tires they were on. I see hard tires there. Let's see what those tires were from the outside. Yeah, arguably yes, the tire icon would be missing. You can now see the tires from the guys on track, where not here at the top. I mean, I could now also add my overlay as an in-game. Could have done that before already, but as you've seen, tower qualifying, just need to quickly set this up. So now there should be also full, yes. But I don't see the tires here either. So just putting the in-game down there. Live timing section to the right. Oh yeah, tires soft. Okay, I take it back. Let's see what I put. If I put a hearts, what happens then? Hearts. Click drive. Now the hearts are on. Watch. Soft. Would have loved if the heart would be green and the medium would be yellow here. But okay. This is just liking things. Something else that we have to look at. Lifetime we've looked at. Adam Smith, no. The heart is green. This is the hard tire now. So, and what my issue is now, and I show this on the big screen, because I know that the esports of esports people are watching, I want this to be moved over here again. And also, if I change traction control or so, I want to have this message center to go to the left again. You know, as much as you guys love this camera, I loved the glitch of a stretch of the HUD to the outside, because it was really helping me. Anyway, we now also get to drive, and now I have also perhaps more chances. Christian Simonson, the online part, that is what we are waiting for. What do you mean with the online part? As I'm quickly going to edit the AI so that they are gone. Sami, I could thank you for the follow. Victor, you cannot stretch the UI anymore. The option has vanished, and it was decided to remove it. Well, it shouldn't have been there in the first place the way it did, so it just caused issues, so why it got disabled. Feed Triff, thank you for your time, thank you for the follow here on the Twitch channel. Are we happy with the UI? I gotta say, if there is one guy using rFactor 2 now, mourning about the usability of the UI, then I gotta say, you are not a fanboy, you are a hate boy, and you just want to bitch no matter what, because they have improved things by a big mile, and they have not only improved, and we're already getting to start to do a little resume, they have not only tackled the issues of the new UI as it was the entire year. It was a bit slow, it was a bit lazy, it was irritating, it was bad positioning of buttons, bad positioning and layout and design of, like, you know, page structure. You know, the setup, basically, what was one of the key issues of the new UI, now you have this screen, you know, but the setup options needed this, and you had to move it like this. This is completely gone, no more scrolling, apart from a list obviously, and I'm okay with the plugins to be scrolled on a list, because there could only be 5 or 8 or 9, don't need to have an own page for it, just put it in there, make it a small list. That, you know, having 11 or 12 settings as a list to show 4, that is alright. But to come back on it, what Studio 397 has achieved, they have not realigned all buttons, making it tighter, making it more slim, making it... And as much as this seems overwhelming when you look at your screen, it is still clean, it is well sorted, it is aligned, left aligned, right aligned, some space gap in between, left aligned, right aligned. It is just great. They have done a cracking job on this, and you know, they have not only thought the obvious thing, so, you know, getting the setup from moving like this into something like that, they've also achieved additional features, additional usability, a restructuring of the location of where the buttons is, and they have added this music. You know, and usually I don't care about music as much. I like how I generally like the tone of ACC. I do dislike the race room experience music to a certain extent. But you know, this is something different. This has some kind of meditation, as I've already mentioned, and it is not like on Race Room or on Assetto Corsa, it's one theme that goes on for and on and on and on for, like, you know, it's 30 seconds and repeats itself. I think this music strip is at least 2.5, 3.5 minutes composed music. And as I said, it is like meditation. You can close the eyes and you can hear the engine roar in the background somewhere inside your soul. Okay, I'm getting a bit over exaggerated now, but you know what I mean. But as I said, the predominant thing here is not the voice, it's not the audio of the engine. It is, and it goes in line with the background, with the BMW we can see move, and then the background slowly through the picture, like my hands are. And that's just how the music is, you know, slow, feel-based. You can really focus on what you want to do, and that is a really great addition. And this is I consider this is a feature that people would have probably not thought about before, and this is you know, an additional goodie to the rFactor 2 community. It is yoga music for petrol heads, pretty much, because you got yoga. You could play this in a meditation room, 100%. Like, you raise the engine sounds, and then you can have great meditation music. Okay, I will now try really to come to my point. They've not only made the obvious things better, they have not only made them better, I think they have from the very start, really from here to, where is it, to there, to this, they have improved every single bit. They have not left one stone unturned, and whatever they have done with it, it is at least equally bad, which is 1% of the entire update. I would not call equally bad, I would probably say equally good. Or they have put a value added on it. Those lists, it's all clean. Like, as I said, where was it? It's probably a bit inconsistent. Here, this Joy 2 B14, it doesn't turn blue. But what I really like, and this is what I mean, they have not only... Here it is. Okay, I found another bug. So on the assign control pages, or is that because we want to assign a control? Maybe there is, but no, in the graphics. Yep, maybe because we want to assign a control. I don't know, but still, then I would probably appreciate it. But this is what I mean, and I go back to setting the single player quick race, edit settings. This is it. I find everything what I want to set literally within a click. It's already in my mind. I need to go there, here. It is so intuitive. Quick event, overview of everything. Then you select series, then you select track, then you select the car. You go really from the growth thing. So the series is track and cars. Then you want what car you want to have, what track you want to have. And then when there is a track and you know you're not running on an oval, then you can select the car, which is just great. And what really has made my evening, and I want to praise the guy that had the idea to really, like, use this here at the front for all those 5 columns and get it lit up at the very left when you are on the very right. This is really great, and those are the signs where you say, okay, devs have listened to feedback. I want to point this out because people always say, oh, the devs on rFactor 2 are not listening to feedback. Stop it. They've listened to feedback. They have brought it into action. And I want to point this out. Yes, there are still some small bugs. But show me any racing simulator that releases an update and is completely bug-free with a new content. Look at iRacing. They release content and they keep patching it all week 13 long. Ruben, praise the weather gods. I praise you guys because you have done a cracking job, and credit to whose credit due. This needs to be seen. As much as people are always kinda, I don't want to say killing, but kind of bashing Studio 397 and content issues and bugs and everything, as much as people in the community bashes them. The same way you need to praise them this time for just releasing what they've just released. Period. This is a big step forward. I think someone said it was Danielle. One of the major concerns and one of the major usability issues as a user point of view has vanished today, and not slowly. It was just bang, there is a new UI update. It came and it 100% convinces. It 100% convinces that this is more than just a small improvement. This will make the usability of rFactor 2 a fair lot better, and I only can hope that there is more stuff of this coming in the future. So, anyway, that is it. We can now have a little bit of talking while driving, because obviously I want to give you guys a little bit of driving goodie tonight as well. And you guys can put down your questions. My brain has stopped working for a second again because I need to turn this back from iRacing. Bear with me. That guy in front needs an update also. I need an update. Papa Kuhn is going to Papa Game. See ya. Papa Kuhn has given a Papa Papa surprise on Papa Michi's Discord, and we're gonna see this at the end of the stream all together as we get a new ending scene. Anyway, let's come to a little bit of talking business as well. This weekend is the Esports Racing World Cup, and well, we're going to use the Formula Pro car on a track we do not know yet, but on the selection of possible tracks, we found Botnering, a track I got literally nightmares already from hot lapping, and now you know why. So many lap times have went straight to the bin at this turn. But effectively, just in case that we need to run this track, I want to run the Formula Pro car a bit on it, see how the setup feels. Fixed setup, same for everyone. I guess only brake bias to be to be adjustable. Oof. No wonder that the rear snaps like this. Botnering is probably the most narrow and unjustified track that you could race this car on. But having a hot lap competition on it would be quite fun. Anyway, we do some laps and we can now start discussing the new UIs. Guys, now I'm happy to hear your feedback. And obviously, if you have not done already, if you do appreciate the video tonight though, please have a follow on our Twitch channel, have a subscription on our YouTube channel, make this community grow, and show your appreciation of the stream by also liking the video on YouTube. Would appreciate that. Don't read, just focus. Linked. Thank you for the follow on our Twitch page, as much as I want to thank Algaria Sims for the follow as well. Let's hit 4K today. That is a bit ambitious, but we can hit more subscribers. 4,350? No, 30. Maybe 30. Maybe we can hit that. Anyway, does rFactor 2 already have a rating system? I am sure, and maybe Ruben, if he is still around, can say something towards that. John Monroe Racing, thank you for joining, and thank you for becoming a follower. Welcome. I am pretty sure that Studio 397 already has some kind of ELO or some kind of rating in the background database already that they can work with to improve the competition system. Pretty sure that something like this already exists. I'm not sure if Ruben can say something towards that if he's still around, but that is just my guess. I don't think they have been having the studio, the competition system online and not kind of keep improving or working on it in the background. Like, you know, if we do multiple races, we somehow need to get ranked within that championship standing at the end of the championship period. So there needs to be some rating behind it already anyway. Kali, thank you for the follow, and yeah, sorry for butchering your name. I'm just gonna call you Kali. It's a bit more easy to pronounce. So whether there is an ELO rating existing for the competition system or not, I agree that we need it. El Nando, I agree with you. And so yeah, guys, I have mentioned this before already, but I'm gonna mention it again, and this is a promise. Towards the weekend, I'm going to update or upload a small video on demand on the YouTube channel. I will do social media posts about it, and that video will be a kind of call to action for you guys. It will really just be something very basic and generic, but basically I want to get in discussion with you. Make up your mind already. Okay, maybe it's not going to be just a 5-minute video. Perhaps. Let's see. Anyway, what I wanted to say, I'm going to upload this video where I'm going to ask you with a new UI update, and generally speaking, what do you think rFactor 2 is lacking? What kind of new features and what kind of new options you'd like to see? And I don't want to turn this into a bashing video on, oh, Studio 397 is doing so much bad and blah blah blah. Not at all. I want to turn this really, actually, you know, my idea is, and one can say whether you need this or not need this is not my priority, or is none of my business, and is also not my task, but I would like to be able to say, hey, Studio 397, look, I am probably the most known rFactor 2 streamer on the YouTube channel, and with rFactor 2 streamer, I mean a streamer of which is 90% of content is rFactor 2 stuff, or 80%. Of course, the most famous sim racing streamer is probably Jimmy Broadband. So I don't mean it like this, but you know what I mean, yeah? So I would like to give Studio 397 a little bit of uncensored marketing and web research. I'm pretty sure they know what the community really wants. But at the same time, I just want to say, look, in case you don't know, here's what we need. So that is my idea behind it. And yeah, now I also try to read out a bit more questions. 1,600 online players are playing rFactor 2 on Steam right now. Is it right now in this moment? Well, Yuri, I guess a lot of people are testing the new UI, and hopefully they do so, because this is a step into the very right direction. I finally at least want to get a better lap time in. The car notoriously understeers. It's insane. Yeah, I want to be rFactor 2 more lively. You know, I'm planning of having another community day in the competition system. There's currently some nice CS going on. I think GTE at Spa. We have a Formula E race. We have a couple of free content races too. So I'm planning on next Thursday to have a little bit of fun there. In all honesty, or not Thursday, maybe Monday. Oh no, I'm getting stuffed up with work already. I'd love to have simpler dedicated servers back. Like with a 2020 UI. What do you mean, simply a dedicated surface? I think the dedicated surface never changed, did they? Yeah, maybe it would be smart if I do a video on how do I install rFactor 2 completely and set it up. Such a fun track to drive though. So next up would be the question for me, how can I move around those LCDs? That is something I do not know. Oh, that is a long time back where you could run the dedicated service from the UI, I think. And Nando, I am looking forward to it. If they could add in a game server setup. You mean that you can host the setup from the game? The server? Like on iRacing? Yeah, we are speaking of the HUD, not of the UI, sorry. Chaos Top, enjoy! So of course we've had a little bit of an extended video on the new UI right now, having a little bit of driving just here, and I'm just gonna finish 10 laps, and then we're gonna sum up on what we have learned today about the new UI. Going to go into some some key areas again, where I'm just quickly pointing at some really nice goodies that really make the game a lot more accessible. Felix, will the new UI be overhyped or actually good? It is actually good. You can overhype it if you're a massive fanboy, but it's anything else but bad. It is actually a great success, I think. It is 100% improvement to the community. It will be. I cannot imagine it not to be. So final lap. Let's focus. Let's go. The dodgy AI. Well, I think for the dodgy AI you need to find the right settings to use to race them. But there should be a solution for that too. But okay, is a valid point. Steven, have you checked out my how to install and set up a dedicated rFactor 2 server video? It should be in the tutorials playlist on my channel. Man, this first gear is so long. FFB and the Physic engine are the most sophisticated on the known market right now, according to my standards. Anyway, that is it. Enough of driving for today. Let's come back to the point of having a summary on this new UI. So, M-Juice, thank you for your follow. Sorry for butchering your name so much. And we're gonna come back to this view it didn't work for you. Have you perhaps not forwarded all ports and everything? Maybe. How to manually add AI? I would go to session controls, add AI driver, add another AI driver, add another AI driver, and that's how you do it. And then you can click them and boot them again. So that is how how this stuff works. You can save the railroad here, which is great. Enter railroad name, test, save railroad, saved. Hello there. So that is how it works. Red one, E Marty, thank you for joining. So I have talked a quite brief amount on stuff here, live timing. You've seen our laps, you've seen our optimal time possible. This is a new feature, hasn't been here before. We see our soft tires, we see our watch. I want to go back a little. Sorry, R for replay. And I want to have a look, like down there, you see the pedal inputs and RPM and kph. Maybe you could add a little bit more of description of what numbers you're looking at, despite it's pretty, you know, pretty straightforward what you see though actually. But this has a better fidelity again, I think. It's not as buggy as it was before. With those bars being longer and a little bit more fluent, you can have a greater idea of what the driver's really doing. And yeah, let's sum this up, as I want to. Like, I enjoy this feature so much. Like, this is, guys at rFactor 2, you are genius. I would have had a tons of things on my list to improve the new UI with. But the one this came, but with this one, you came around the corner and really caught me by surprise. That is something I wouldn't have had thought of. It wouldn't have simply have come to my mind as, how shall I say this? It felt so far away in my head that we ever have something like this that you wouldn't have never ever think about it. So I really appreciate this feature. This is great. This is amazing. Really like it. So, and for starting our actually brief, how is it? I want to come back to this music and slowly start ending the stream. So, I called this stream title rFactor 2 New UI Update. How good is it? And it is phenomenal. It makes me, as a diehard rFactor 2 driver, it will make me enjoy rFactor 2 a shed load more than before. How often have we been sitting in the testing sessions with the team and it was like, can we restart the session? Yeah. And I'm like, please vote, and everyone like, okay, can you remind me again, where is the vote button? I don't know, we had this discussion like 200 times last year, and I'm not over exaggerating. We literally had it. If Papa Dennis Jordan is still around, or some Burst Esport driver is still around, they can confirm this. We were sitting there and saying, where is this damn vote button? And we were mourning about that UI a lot of times, and all we hoped for was an improvement. And I think what we've got is not only an improvement, it is It is a step towards perfection, I want to say. And you know, I always feel like, oh, this is good, this is great, and whatnot. But this is mind-blowingly good. This has really, it will change the value, the anticipation, the image, and I really mean the image of rFactor 2 in a long term, in a very positive way. 100%. The very old one was laggy too. The new UI has been even more laggy, and it made things worse. So it wasn't optimal optical improvement, but it was a technical disaster, I want to say. And I know I want to make good advertising for rFactor 2, but really, let's face it, the old UI has been a catastrophe in many ways. And all that we esport people, and I think all users, have hoped for is that the new UI is solving this catastrophe to something one could live with, one could deal with, one could accept with. But let's face it, this is not just what you could accept with or what you can be just okay with. This UI is something a user should, and I guess will, be satisfied with. The UI has put rFactor 2 down a little bit. The CS, the competition system on rFactor 2 failed its impact because of the UI, I would say. And obviously competition system had running issues itself, and stability issues, and functionality issues too. But it was a complete new feature that is also still in beta condition, so that was expected. But the combination, the new UI, which was released 1 year ago, together with the competition system, it just got something to, like, you know, intangible mass of software. And this UI update, compared and paired up with the stability of the competition system, it has improved. The competition system has improved a big mile. And I'm gonna have a quick go to the competition system itself, because when we're going to be racing all together, when I'm going to do community racing again, we run Formula E, we run the Tattoos, we will run the Alpine, and we will run the GTE. I hope that I can find my sessions in a way that I can have a lot of races, in like different races in one day. Maybe we're not going to do the Alpines, but only do the fixed Tattoos, because the Tattoos is really fun to drive with. So that's just to quickly show again, as we're talking about the competition system. But I go back, I just want to listen to that music. That music is just stunning. So this UI update, I'm starting to repeat myself, but it has not only met the catastrophe, it not only cleaned up, it also rebuilt something completely fresh, something refreshingly good. Nice transmissions, high quality pictures, very nice shots here. All of these shots look flamboyant, full of action, full of quality, dedication and focus. Really great. The transmission, the moving pictures, everything is fluid. I don't see any rattling, I don't see any, like, look how fluid it moves from left to right and back to center. Yes, maybe before the picture stops there is a little bit of hesitation in the picture, but come on. If we're mourning about that, we're mourning on a high level. So, how good is this UI? It is good. It is very good. I want to say it is an overall improvement of the game. It will make viewers satisfied. It will make users enjoying the product more than they would have enjoyed it with the old UI. They would this update will bring a bunch of users in. As we've already mentioned, someone said 1,600 players on rFactor 2 right now. I think it was last time that high around the Le Mans Virtual Series 2020, so 1.5 years ago. This could be a game changer. It could now be, okay, they fixed it. They not only fixed it, they improved it massively. And now next up we can talk about, I think Ruben already said something about it. AI and AI performance is next on the list. I would love to see next on the list the competition system, more features, ELO rating and stuff. But you know what? As I spoke about this before, I know rFactor 2 knows what the community wants, despite rFactor 2 also has an own list of stuff to do. But I'm just going to record a short video. What do you want? I gather all your opinions. I gather. So this is how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna record a video where I want you guys dedicated to put down what do you want to see on rFactor 2. Good things, bad things, things you want to see improved, things you want to see changed or whatever. Then I'm gonna take that feedback and make another video out of it and say, this is what the rFactor 2 community wants. Maybe a kind of open letter to Motorsport Games and Studio 397. And I'm gonna do it publicly, not because I want to produce some artificial pressure or anything. That may be a side effect, I may admit that, so maybe overthink on that. But I want to give them a possibility to just have a look. Okay, there's a streamer. There's the streamer that does most of the time rFactor 2. All the rFactor 2 community knows this streamer, so maybe even those guys that do not go on the forum and put down their feedback in the specific channel, they may go on that video though and say, hey, I agree about this or I disagree about that, and actually put their feedback down. So it could be another channel dragging information into Studio 397. So I'm really looking forward to this. Anyway, let's have a few questions of you guys still down there. 2.15 sugar-free, new UI, but the multiplayer room's still empty. People want to just jump in the room and race. That's going to be fixed as soon as the competition system will come more alive and hopefully also appears in the sign like this. That will be there will be more possibilities to just click and jump and race, do quick races or whatever. Triller, no new multiplayer options as of right now, as I understand it, but surely an overall improved game, that's for sure. So guys, that's gonna do it for today, I'm afraid. And yeah, you guys have been amazing today. Thank you for all the new follows. Thanks for all the new subscriptions again. If you have not done already, please follow up on Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. For everyone watching on Twitch right now, please remember that this video about, if you want to take part in this video and in that public, yeah, what does rFactor 2 needs, then follow this link, explanation mark sub, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It will be a video on demand, obviously, on the YouTube channel, because Twitch, I think Twitch also has some kind of video on demand functionality, but I have video on demands over at YouTube. So yeah, go fix your house, sure, plenty to do. Yes, Mario, to come back on your question, moving went alright. We're not 100% fixed yet, but my office is back up. I also will have a few scheduled videos coming in the next future because there's still some stuff to do. We're still waiting on some furniture to arrive, and when furniture is there, then you need to be able to get those things up and running. Shriller, you're actually right. Nothing happens. Why this? So take that on the list, Michi. You need to check your bot settings. I have put the restream link in, so you now should have the possibility to go and sub to the YouTube channel, as we're coming towards the end of this stream, and as I have said already in the beginning or during the stream, Papa Kuhn has given us some goodie, some surprise. That's what we're going to have a look at now, guys. I thank you for that evening. I thank you for your impressions. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope that you can take something away from it. And I hope that you will enjoy rFactor 2 a lot more in the future with this great new UI. Thank you everyone for the follows. Thank you everyone for the subscriptions. And please make use of that video. Share it to your friends if you want them to be shown around in the UI. Talk about the video. Put down your comments in the comment area below if there is anything that bugs you still. I keep forgetting to say this in the beginning of the video when people actually start watching this video on demand. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. That's gonna do it for today. And now we have a little bit of a watch of what Papa Kuhn has given us for tonight as an goodie, which is a new ending stream scene. And you know what, we're just gonna use it a little bit. And yeah, I would say, guys, thank you so much for your time. Have a good one. See you. Goodbye. Obviously, there is a raid coming on the Twitch channel. Thomas F, thank you for your subscription on our YouTube channel. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And we're gonna have a raid. Moritz Döner. Or do we go with Lucas Blakely? Let's go with Lucas Blakely tonight. I F this up. There you go. Papa Kuhn, I love it. I really love it. Thank you, Triller, for already having subbed. Appreciate it.